At Brown Shipley, a key focus we have is supporting business owners with wealth planning, investment management and lending. We also like to introduce other experts who can help support them on their journey. I'm delighted to be in conversation with Fergus King, investor, business owner and one of the most experienced business coaches in the UK. Over the past 20 years, he has supported over 350 business owners through the challenges of growing, funding and exiting their businesses. Ferg, the idea of the business owner's journey must resonate with you.
Yes, indeed, Kenny, and thank you for inviting me along this morning. Some people might think of business journey as a bit of a cliche, but certainly the clients that I'm working with, they're predominantly owner-managed businesses, and they will very commonly say that their business is their life's work, and growth is a journey of wins and losses, successes and failures, agonies and ecstasies, and so on. And at the risk of perhaps extending the cliche, I think the opportunity perhaps is to do what we can to try and enjoy the journey as we're going along, rather than perhaps just being outcome exit oriented.
Can you tell us a bit more about the role that you play with business owners?
I'm helping business owners and their teams to design and then properly implement changes that are required. And the other thing that I do is to partner up with other organizations that can help my clients through the funding and exit element.
You talk about the business owner's journey. Are there defined stages to that journey?
The first half, perhaps, of the journey is a cycle from past the initial excitement and frantic activity of startup. Businesses are then typically investing. If they can invest properly at that stage, they can then take their business into a phase of sustained growth. And during that cycle, that phase, I observe what they ideally should be doing is refining their business model. And if you translate it into English, what is a business model? It's a choice as to how a business is going to go about making money, and in effect it is the first real period of success in their business. You know, people move house and do things like that. The other category where the money is deployed, of course, is reinvesting back in the business, and then that in itself is funding the next phase of growth.
At Brown Shipley, we refer to this as the business growth life cycle. Innovation, expansion, profit-taking and reinvestments. What do you find tends to happen after the payback stage?
The next phase actually is frustration. We're becoming a bigger business now, but maybe we're still operating like a smaller business. So in essence, what is going on is that the business model that took us from day one, from startup through to payback, that model is not working so well anymore, and therefore at that stage it's often other commercial and cultural issues that will be required to keep the business scaling beyond that point. The second category is investing in platforms to support their onward growth.
Tell us more about how business owners create value in their businesses.
They're certainly aware of value. However, not that many of them are actively managing the value of their business. And it's interesting to reflect on why that is. And I think for a trading business, typically valuation is a multiple of adjusted profit. So the formula value equals profit times a multiple. Now, if my primary focus is bursting out of bed and selling more widgets to more widget customers, then I'm perhaps increasing the profit, but I'm not really doing very much to influence the multiple. Now, very commonly, people will then respond, you can put your equations and formulas back in the cupboard, I'll tell you exactly what something is worth, what someone is willing to pay for it. Of course that's the case, but what are you doing to influence their willingness to pay more for your business? And if you think what a multiple is a measure of your anticipated future profitability. If all I'm focused on is delivering current profitability and not putting in place things that will deliver future profitability, then perhaps I'm only playing with half of the equation. Therefore, perhaps my business is not worth as much as it could be, and it's perhaps not as sale and exit ready as it could be.
Would you say that that is the point then that business owners would consider selling their business?
They're selling the future of their business to somebody else. So a business that has the platforms in place is going to be a more attractive prospect to an investor. Now that of course requires business owners to be doing the right things to be enhancing the value, and whether that's investing in talent, vision, culture, product extension, systems innovation, brand, channel strategies, whatever. it's going to require them more than likely to secure additional funding so that they can do these things properly. As your granny would have said, Kenny, if something's worth doing, it's worth doing it properly. And therefore securing the relevant funding to do these things properly is important pre-exit. And in a way that completes the whole grow, fund, exit cycle.
What is it that you observe most about the journey that they're on?
That you can manage the journey if you are aware of the stages and if you're taking the relevant actions at the relevant moments. Typically people don't like making changes. Some do, of course. Some prefer to do the same things and just hope that the outcome will be better. And don't get me wrong, hope is a super important commodity, but hope is not a plan. So if I can understand the stage I'm at, if I can take the right actions, then absolutely I can turn my business into a more profitable and more valuable version of itself. And that's super important from a financial security point of view. But I think the other thing that I recognize is that the opportunity is also to turn your business into a more enjoyable version of it. Because I think when people do leave, commonly they reflect back on, did we do good work? Was it satisfying? Was it enjoyable? And so having an enjoyable business and having enjoyed the journey, I think is important, actually very important for a lot of business owners.
Fergus, thanks very much for this discussion and your valuable insights. You'll find more information on our approach to working with business owners, their families, and other advisors on our website.
If you'd like to have a conversation with one of our client advisors, please contact Brown Shipley today.